Two juniors, Angel Matt Miller and Ben Neal from Fit Engineering, won the local SkillsUSA engineering design competition. They built a phone cooling case, so we asked them why.
Because people have problems with their phone overheating, like whenever they're charging it or using it, calling people, anything that they use their phone for.
Especially in heavily intensive tasks, such as FaceTime or video games. It transmits the heat from the phone through a thermal pad, which is a sticky pad infused with metal shaves and stuff like that, metal powder, from my understanding, and then transfer it to a copper plate to dissipate it. My favorite part was modeling the 3D print.
I think my favorite part was breaking each failed attempt.
Yes.
Break.
We would grab each end and then pull as hard as we can so we would break it. It wasn't a very professional thing to do in the sense that we should have kept our prototypes, our very different prototypes for revision and all those things, but we didn't really took that one serious. So we ended up having 6 prototypes. I believe we're gonna have more. Our prototypes vary differently from rigid materials, from filament printing to resin printing, rigid materials, I want to say elastic materials. And our final prototype was a elastic resin with the copper plate glued to it, then the thermal pad attached.
We also had multiple different prints for some of the prototypes. We had more than one print.
Yeah.
The most difficult part was getting a phone case to actually fit on the phone.
Yes, that was definitely it.
That's why we had so many prototypes.
Our first design worked with how many phone cases have, which are the embedded buttons. But we decided to scratch that idea off because most of the time it didn't work, or if it did work, it was way too hard to press the button. So we just decided to remove it completely and just have a hole so you can reach in and press the buttons.
The state's engineering design competition requires 3 participants, so they had Joseph Porries join their group.
I feel pretty good about it. They have the notebook, I can read through that, get all the information, because at states they do, since I'll be joining, they'll also ask to hear from me. Like, they don't just ask Ben and Angel, I'll also have to speak, and I feel pretty good about my presentation skills. So I feel like with the notebook, and they'll be able to provide me information, so that I'll be able to speak to their project well. Pretty cool project, because my phone does overheat as well. Usually only when I leave it in the upright position, like with the thing facing up, and they did put a lot of time and effort into it, and they had really good documentation, and I feel like it's definitely a marketable and good product. So.
I do think it is one of the most viable options for actually becoming a true product that they could possibly patent one day.
Angel is really hardworking and a very determined, kind of stubborn, but also he's gonna get it done person. And Ben's also a very reliable and just helps out a lot.
They have a lot of work left to do before they're ready for the state competition, but I think that they're up for the task and that they will be ready to go and represent us really well at the state competition.
Good luck to Angel, Ben, and Joseph at the SkillsUSA States competition.